Hi, this is Debbie. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to explore some geographical locations found in Ethiopia that really establishes it as part of the land of Canaan. While we don't know the exact boundaries, these point us in the right direction. Before we explore biblical place names in this region, it helps to understand Ethiopia today and its long history. Ethiopia is a country in the Horn of Africa, located just east of Sudan. It has a population of about 130 million people, making it one of the most populated countries in Africa. Ethiopia is also one of the oldest countries in the world, with a history that goes back thousands of years. Ethiopia is home to many different ethnic groups. The largest include the Oromo, Amhara, Somali, Tigray, Sidama, and Gurage peoples. Each group has its own culture, traditions, and history. There are also many languages spoken in Ethiopia, over 80 languages and more than 200 dialects. The official working language of the federal government is Amharic, but other widely spoken languages include Oromo, Somali, and Tigrinya. Ethiopia is mostly Christian and Muslim, with Christianity being one of the oldest traditions in the country. 67% of the population is Christian, and around 33% are Muslim. The Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church traces its roots back nearly 2,000 years. Before we move on, let's clarify something that's very important. We are told that Ethiopia/Ethiopis means burnt face in Greek. However, this is rejected by Ethiopians as they have different perspectives on the history of the name. We will explore this in other videos. In the meantime, it's important to know this. As far as Ethiopians can remember, they have always called their own country Ethiopia in their own tongues. Ethiopia is simply the name Ethiopia in the Amharic and Ge'ez languages, the ancient and modern Semitic tongues of Ethiopia itself. Amharic is the official language of modern Ethiopia, and Ge'ez is the ancient liturgical language of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, similar to how Latin is used in the Catholic Church. With regards to more recent names for the region, Ethiopia was a more broad term, not exactly modern Ethiopia. This term was used by Europeans. The Christian kingdom in the highlands was often called Abyssinia in Arabic and later European sources. This term referred mainly to the Ethiopian highland kingdom ruled by Christian emperors. The name was used up to the early 1900s. After World War II in 1945, Ethiopia became the standard official international name, replacing Abyssinia in most modern usage. Ethiopia was never fully colonized like many other African countries, which makes its history unique and continuous across thousands of years. Today, Ethiopia remains a diverse and historically rich nation, one that sits near the Upper Nile and has deep connections to some of the oldest civilizations in Africa. That is why, in this series, we also look closely at Ethiopia when studying possible biblical place names and ancient geography. According to Genesis 35:6, Bethel is in the land of Canaan. This is another place where an H has been inserted as the original sound is Betel. The verse states, "So Jacob came to Luz, which is in the land of Canaan, that is Bethel, he and all the people that were with him." Joshua 7:2 also states, "Joshua sent men from Jericho to Ai, which is near Beth-aven, east of Bethel, and said to them, 'Go up and spy out the land.' And the men went up and spied out Ai." In some translations, the location is spelled Hai. Here is Amba Hai on this old map. It is found in the Samian Mountains of Ethiopia. Today it is called Mount Hay. Do you see how these names can change over time? However, God has allowed us to find them now. The term Amba refers to a steep-sided, flat-topped mountain in Ethiopia and Eritrea. Here is Mount Hay. Now let's pause and move to another related location. In Genesis 12:7-8, we read, "And the Lord appeared unto Abram and said, Unto thy seed will I give this land, And there builded he an altar unto the Lord, who appeared unto him. And he removed from thence unto a mountain on the east of Bethel, and pitched his tent, having Bethel on the west, and Hai on the east. And there he builded an altar unto the Lord, and called upon the name of the Lord. Here is Bethel, Ethiopia, in close vicinity to Mount Hay. These two geographical locations alone is probably all we need to show where the Promised Land is located. But of course, there is much more that we will show in future videos. Even though the west and east directions are reversed, this is still significant. Is it possible that the orientation of maps have something to do with this, or that translations of east, west, north, and south are not always accurate? We will explore this in more detail in a future video. And very close to these two locations, we also find a place called Abraham, Ethiopia. It's certainly interesting how these three places connect. This animated map is made with maptrex.com. I'll leave a link for it in the description. Now let's take a brief moment to look at the word salam or salem. The word salam or salem means peace, wholeness, and well-being. It is a greeting used by people of all Abrahamic faiths, except that an H has been inserted for Hebrew and it is pronounced shalom. In fact, there are many geographical places with this name. In Ethiopia and Eritrea, salam is the Ge'ez, Amharic, and Tigrinya form of the word meaning peace. Here are 4 places in Ethiopia called salam, with different spellings. Now let's move to the New Testament. Matthew 15:39 reads, "And he sent away the multitude, and took ship, and came into the coast of Magdala." Magdala is also connected with Mary Magdalene, one of the most well-known figures in the New Testament. Some scholars note that surnames, as we use them today, were not commonly used in that region during that time period, which raises interesting questions about how names were recorded and translated over time. Today, one possible connection is a place in Ethiopia known as Amba Mariam, which was formerly called Magdala or Magdala, especially during the reign of Emperor Tewodros II. During the year 1868, British forces traveled to Ethiopia in a major military expedition known as the Battle of Magdala. They reached the mountain fortress where Emperor Tewodros II ruled, and after a difficult campaign, the fortress was captured. This is an artist illustration of its burning. Following the battle, many historical and religious artifacts were taken from Ethiopia and brought to Britain. This event is still remembered today as an important moment in Ethiopian history, and discussions continue about cultural heritage and the return of these treasures. Here are some of the items that have recently been returned. Near this area, we also find Magdala, Ethiopia, showing again how similar names appear in close geographic regions. Here are the 2 places with similar names. And here's a look at Magdala, Amba Mariam, and surrounding areas. It is close to many streams and rivers. What a beautiful view this is. Of course, we do not claim to know the exact ancient boundaries of these places, but we can observe the patterns of names, sounds, and locations that continue to appear across the region. As we bring these examples together, we begin to see a consistent theme. Names found in ancient scripture appear again in modern geography, especially in regions with deep historical continuity like Ethiopia. They continue to inspire us, keep exploring, and keep asking questions. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Let us know what you think in the comments.